Hi, Erik.
Simon.
There's been two statements from United today. First of all, Antony, what are your thoughts on the decision to allow him back to train and to play? And are you worried it might be a distraction?
Yes, we make the statement, so I refer to the statement. I think everything is we make clear in the statement. And no, I don't think it's a distraction. We focus on the games, and he will do as well.
The other statement regarded Lisandro Martínez. How frustrating is that for you and your injury list? Is there any improvements? Anyone back for tomorrow?
Oh, we have seen some players back on Tuesday, and for tomorrow are back the players who are out of the squad for Tuesday. Scott Mctominay, Christian Eriksen, they are back.
Erik, just in terms of Antony, did you have to think before you brought him back into the squad? People will have opinions about whether he should be there or not.
I think we explained it in the statement, so I will keep referring to that.
And injuries, you're not the only club who's got a lot of injuries at the moment. Next season, the Champions League expands. There's the new Club World Cup coming in as well. There's more and more demands on players. How do you deal with that? Is it a bigger squad? Is it limiting the number of games players play? How do you look after the players?
We already did. We already expanded the squad this season because you make the reason clear. We had a World Cup in the middle of the season. We had a longer season. We had to play a longer season as well. FA Cup, then Nations League games, then a shorter break. And every time the schedule is expanding, and the load on the players is just too much. It's such a great overload. But many colleagues of me are already pointing to that, and I have pointed to that as well. But it kept going. We keep expanding the schedule, but anywhere it will stop. Then players can't deal anymore with this overload, and that is, I think, what you see across many squads in this moment.
Erik, the statement on Antony doesn't say when he'll resume training and when he'll become available. Can you give us any clarity on the timescale, on his fitness levels?
On Saturday he will be back in the training. So tomorrow.
You're comfortable with his fitness levels?
I have to see, but I think, yeah.
And I guess a lot of your fans will think you've got clarity on one player, the other player who's obviously been in the headlines recently, Jadon Sancho. Is there no chance of any progress with that at this stage? Are you not tempted to maybe seek a little bit of clarity with him, having sorted one player out?
Many of you ask me so often these questions, and I have said everything.
How long can that situation go on for, then?
What I said everything.
Okay.
Richard.
Hi, Erik. I just want to ask you about Sofyan Amrabat. He had a really impressive debut on Tuesday. What do you think his greatest asset is? Is it his technical ability, or is it his energy and his stamina?
Yeah, as you say, he has more abilities, and you need, as a player on the highest level, you need a bigger skill set than only one. But I think his stamina, his dynamics, that is, I think, one of his biggest.
And just on against Burnley, you only had 38% possession. That seems quite a small amount, especially with your history at Ajax of always having the ball. Do you think United need to have more possession, and how important is Amrabat to that aim?
You don't always have. You need not always so much possession to have control in the game, because I think against Burnley we had across the whole game we had control in the game. But I prefer to have it like against Crystal Palace.
As some injuries coming back to squad, you have more options for squad. these two games, you gave some opportunities to the young players like Hannibal, Pastry, and also Goyle play his debut on Spurs Day. In the future, with even more tighter fixture, will these players have this time?
Depends on their performances, on the levels, what they show, if they can contribute to a winning team. And it's only about that. You play the team, you make the selection based on the opportunity you win games.
Naz.
Hi Erik, how different will this game against Crystal Palace be to the one you played in the EFL Cup? Because the playing squads will be different, the starting 11s will be different, and what are you expecting from them this Saturday?
Yeah, well, definitely. I think both sides will be different, but we got belief from it. But I know the opponent is looking for revenge. Clear, and that will be their fuel.
And in terms of just going on the young players, you mentioned on Tuesday night that the young players have shown you in training that they deserve to get the shirt. How important is that going to be during this period when you have got a number of injuries?
You see it already when you have players, when you develop players, you see the progress that can help you to tough situations. But also it's good for the club to develop such players, and for the players as well to get into professional football, to get into professional top football. And yeah, so great. I like it to develop young players. But as you said, the mentality has to be right. You have to deserve the badge, and every time you have to prove it. And on every occasion, so training, but especially on games.